Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 3116, kth smallest amount with single denomination combination. This is a very hard problem. I don't think that you are ever seen something like this in any job interview, so don't worry if you didn't solve this first try. With this in mind, next I will show you how to solve this efficiently step by step. We're given an integer array coins representing coins of different denominations and an integer k. So let's say that we're given this input. We have an infinite number of coins of each denomination, but we are not allowed to combine coins of different denominations. Our job is to return the kth smallest amount that can be made using these coins. So in this scenario, we are looking for the third smallest amount that we can build using these denominations, considering that we are not allowed to combine them. So what if we take 3? Which amounts can we build? Well, we can build 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. What if we take 6? Well, we can build 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. What if we take 9? Well, we can build an amount of 9, 18, 27, 36, and so on. So if we take these amounts and put them in order without repeating elements with these denominations, we can build these amounts: 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. Remember that here we are not repeating elements. For example, here we have 2, 6, but in the final list we have only 1. Our job is to return the third smallest amount that we can build, which in this case is 9, so we return this. So maybe you're thinking about doing this. You can get the amounts for each denomination, then you can put the amounts in order and return the kth amount. This is technically correct, but down here we have the constraints and we know that k can be of up to 2 times 10 to the power of 9. And this is a huge number. Even if we find a solution that runs in big O of k, this is too much. We have to think about something else. The key to solve this problem is here. We can have up to 15 coins and the maximum possible denomination is 25, which means that we can explore different subsets. Let's see how this works. Given that k can be huge, we will use a binary search to explore possible results. We are using k as the left bound and the minimum number of coins times k for the right bound. Why? Well, let's say that we only have one denomination, which is 1. Here the result is bounded by k, right? So in this scenario, the result is actually 3. The third coin that we can build using this denomination is 3. That's why we use k for the low bound. And why do we use the minimum number of coins times k for the right bound? Now let's say for a moment that we have these two denominations only, 2 and 5. With 2 we can build the amounts 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. With 5 we can build 5, 10, 15, and so on. So in order we can build 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and so on. Here k is 3, so the result is 5, but we are using the minimum number of coins times k for the right bound, meaning 6. And this makes sense because if we use only the minimum denomination, we know that the right bound can be greater or equal to k. If we introduce a larger denomination such as 5, in the worst case, the right bound will be to the right of the final result. So this is a correct right bound. That's why here we use the minimum number of coins times k. Going back to this input, the minimum number is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Now the midpoint is 6, and we need to check if this is a valid result. How? Well, we will have a helper function which we'll call count. This takes some number every time which corresponds to the midpoint, in this scenario 6, and this returns the number of elements in the range from 1 to the midpoint that are divisible by at least one coin. Now let's say that we have only one denomination, we have only a 3. How many amounts can we build in the range from 1 to the midpoint that are divisible by 3 in this case? Well, we can take the midpoint 6 divided by 3. This is equal to 2. And as you can see here, this makes sense. If we have only this denomination, we have 2 amounts in the range from 1 to 6. And what if we have 2 denominations now? Well, we need to add the contribution of this denomination, which is 2, plus the contribution of this denomination 6. So we do 6 divided by 6, and this is equal to 1. As you can see here, this makes sense. If we use this denomination, we can build one amount, right? Now, this is fine, but we are repeating one element. We are using these two amounts plus this amount. As you can see, we are repeating a 6. So we need to subtract this. The question is how? The key to find the intersection point between these two denominations is to take the least common multiple. So we take the LCM of 3 and 6 and the result is 6. Now we can do 6 divided by 6 and the result is 1, which means that here we have one repeated element. So now we can do 2 plus 1 minus the intersection point 1 and the result here is 2. As you can see, this makes sense because if we remove one of the repeated elements, we can build two amounts. And what if we have more denominations? For example, here we have a 9. Well, we need to add the contribution of this unique element. So we do 6 divided by 9 and the result is 0. Then we need to subtract intersection points. Here we are subtracting the intersection point of 3 and 6. We need to do the same with 3 and 9 and with 6 and 9. This is equal to 0 and this is equal to 0, but now we have another problem. When we combine these two elements, we are removing this intersection. When we combine these two, we remove this intersection, and when we combine these two, we are removing this intersection. As you can see, we are removing the triple intersection 3 times, which means that we are never counting it, but we have to count it, right? We have to count the intersection of these 3 elements. So if we have 3 elements, next we need to add the contribution of the intersection of 3, 6, and 9, because we are removing it 3 times here. Given that we have to count it, we need to do this. So how many amounts can we build in the range from 1 to 6 that are divisible by at least one coin? Well, we do 2 plus 1, which is 3, plus 0, 3, minus 1, 2, minus 0, minus 0, minus 0. The final result is 2. So the answer of this lookup is 2. And if we look closely at what we are doing here, we are adding contributions of unique denominations. That's exactly what we are doing here. Then we are removing the contributions of combinations of 2 denominations. Then we need to add contributions of combinations of 3 denominations. If we had one more element here, next we would have to remove contributions of combinations of 4 denominations and so on. So if we take an odd number of elements, we have to add contributions, and if we take an even number of elements, we have to remove contributions. This is something called the inclusion-exclusion principle, and this is very important to solve the problem, so keep it in mind. Another important observation is that here we're exploring every non-empty subset of coins. Remember that we form a subset by removing some or none of the elements. For example, we can remove these 2 elements and this is a valid subset. In this scenario, we are exploring only number 3, right? So we are looking at this subset. How can we keep track of states for different subsets? Well, we can use bitmasking, which means that we are using a binary number for each mask. Here we are only selecting a 3. This corresponds to the least significant bit, so we have a 1 here and every other bit is a 0. For example, here we are selecting a 6, so the binary number is 0, 1, 0. And for example, here we are selecting the 3 elements, so the binary number is 1, 1, 1. So we will use bitmasking to keep track of 2 things: the LCM of the entire mask and the number of items that we are selecting in this scenario, meaning the number of set bits in the mask. So we are processing every non-empty subset of coins with bitmasking. As you can see, for every mask we have the corresponding subset, and we will have 2 maps. One to keep track of the number of set bits in the mask, meaning the number of items that we have in the subset, and the other one to keep track of the LCM or least common multiple. For example, here the LCM of 3, 6, and 9 is 18. And once we have pre-processed this information, things are easier. Going back to the problem, here we are calling count with 6, which means that we are looking for the number of amounts that we can build in the range from 1 to 6 that are divisible by at least one coin. So first we add the contribution of unique elements. We do this by taking 6 divided by the corresponding LCMs. 6 divided by 3 is 2, plus 6 divided by 6 is 1, plus 6 divided by 9, the result is 0. Then we need to subtract contributions of combinations of 2 elements, meaning these 3. So we do 6 divided by 6, and this is 1. Then 6 divided by 9, the result is 0, and 6 divided by 18, the result is 0. Then we need to add contributions of combinations of 3 elements. So we do 6 divided by 18, this is 0. And the final result is 3 minus 1, meaning 2. Now, given that 2 is different from 3 and we are looking for the third amount that we can build, we should increase this midpoint. The way to do this in binary search is by moving left to wherever we have mid plus 1 in this case. Now the midpoint is here, so we are looking for the total number of amounts in the range from 1 to 8 that are divisible by at least 1 coin. So we start with unique denominations. We start with 3. 8 divided by 3 is 2, plus 8 divided by 6 is 1, plus 8 divided by 9 is 0. Then we need to subtract contributions of combinations of 2 denominations, these 3. So we do 8 divided by 6, and the result is 1, minus 8 divided by 9, the result is 0, minus 8 divided by 18 is 0. Then we need to add contributions of combinations of 3 denominations. 8 divided by 18 is 0. So the final result here is 3 minus 1, meaning 2. Given that 2 is smaller than k, we have to increase the midpoint, which means that we move left to wherever we have mid plus 1. Now left and right are equal, so we can end the binary search and return right, which is 9. But let's see one more example of count using 9 just to make this clear. We start with the unique denominations, so 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3, plus 9 divided by 6 is 1, plus 9 divided by 9 is 1, minus 9 divided by 6 is 1, minus 9 divided by 9 is 1, minus 9 divided by 18 is 0, plus, regarding combinations of 3, 9 divided by 18 is 0. So the final result is 5 minus 2, meaning 3. As you can see, 3 is equal to k, and that's why this is the result. And here you can see how we are subtracting 2 repeated elements. In the range from 1 to 9, regarding 3, we see these elements. Regarding 6, we see this, and for 9, we see this. We are removing 1 repeated 6 and 1 repeated 9. That's how we are left with 3 unique elements, these 3. So with all of this in mind, now let's go with the code and hopefully you will get the idea. First, we can say that n is the length of the array coins, and the total number of subsets or masks is equal to 1 left shift n. We need an array to keep track of the number of set bits in every mask, so this is an array with 0 times m, and we need another array for LCMs. This is an array with 0 times m. Now we can pre-process information. So for every mask in range, we are skipping the empty mask, so we start from 1 and we go up to m. Here we say that the current LCM is initially 1 and we are iterating coins. So for every index and coin in enumerate coins, we can say if mask bitwise and 1 left shift I, meaning if we have the current coin as a set bit in the mask, then we can update the current LCM and the number of bits for this mask, right? So we say that CLCM is equal, and here you should know the formula of LCM. We take A times B divided the GCD of A and B. So here we do CLCM times C divided the GCD, we can do this in Python, of CLCM and C, okay, the current coin. Regarding bits, we go to the current mask and add 1 because we found the coin. And now after this follow-up down here, we can say that LCM of the current mask is equal to CLCM. This is the final accumulated LCM. Now we can build the helper function count, which takes a number x. The result is initially 0 and we want to return this result. So here in between we can iterate every mask in range from 1 to m. Remember that we are skipping the empty mask. If the number of bits of the current mask modulo 2 is equal to 1, this means that we have an odd number of denominations, in which case we need to add the contribution to the result, right? Remember the drawing. So in this scenario, result plus equal x divided the LCM of mask. Else we have an even number of denominations, so we need to subtract the contribution. Result minus equal x divided the LCM of mask. Now we can build the binary search. Left is initially k, right is k times the minimum value of coins. And now we can say while left is strictly smaller than right, the midpoint is left plus right minus left divided by 2. And if count using the midpoint is greater or equal to k, we move right to wherever we have mid, else we move left. Left is equal to mid plus 1, okay? And after this while loop down here, we can return right. So this is the entire code. Let's submit it and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. Regarding the complexity, it's big of 2 to the power of n times n plus log of k times the minimum value in coins times 2 to the power of n. And space complexity is 2 to the power of n because of these tractors. So this is it for the problem. I know that this is very hard, so if you didn't get the idea, I highly recommend you to watch this video again from the start. And if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.